I'm like, yeah, exactly. Brooke is very good at what he does. You just have to read behind the lines. He's like a compass that points at the South Pole. If the compass leads me to not thinking about elephants, then I don't want to go. I don't want to go south to the South Pole. Okay, South Pole. All right, let's go. Let's FF tactics. Bye. Okay, President Sunday. Goodbye. And we're going to our main news of today, which is of course about Poland. Okay, Poland is the best country ever. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but I myself am Polish. I have been privileged to have been born on this milk and honey soil of great people, great patriots that do great things and are the best in the world. I'm a proud Polish nationalist and chwała Wielkiej Polsce, as they say in this country. Okay? This is my whole jam. This is why you watch me, for my nationalist takes and opinions. So, Poland for a while now has been doing this big buildup of military because ever since Trump has said that if NATO members don't pay enough, then Russia can do whatever the hell it wants. And ever since then, certain countries have upped its spending. Poland has declared that it will spend 4.5, 4.7, I believe, percent of its GDP to bolster its military. Poland is becoming a big player. I have seen a lot of LARPers online on YouTube making a ton of videos saying Poland is becoming a powerhouse. Poland is finally becoming what it deserves. Poland is the greatest military ever. Poland kicks ass, and Poland is the king of Poland. And I was always skeptical of the claim that the Polish military is as tough and big and strong as everybody says. But apparently, according to the security chief, and I assume it's some sort of a Polish security chief, Poland as it stands could hold off an invasion for up to 2 weeks. So much for the greatness of Poland, so much for the toughness of its military. I mean, Poland is doing a lot of purchase. Poland is, I guess, making strides to modernize its military, to strengthen its military. But right now, it's an army that is very much on paper still. And it's a paper tiger. It's not even a paper, I guess it's a paper tiger. Everybody hypes Poland up right now, but the reality of the situation is that Poland is so far from being there yet. It's not even funny. Poland's military is not big in sheer numbers. Poland's equipment stock is not as big as people would like to believe. Most of it is still orders that have not been delivered. And there we are. Then again, the prognosis was that Ukraine would just hold off for 3 days or something or whatever. So I don't know. I will have to get more into it. We'll have to get more into this analysis. I'm building up, okay? I'm building it up. I'm building a case, just like Vladimir said. I'm making a thing that sounds good, and it's gonna make sense at the end. Could a rubber ducky defeat a paper tiger? Yes, because rubber is heavier than very thin paper. Apparently, it took 35 days for Germany to invade Poland. This is a downgrade from 1939. Well, keep in mind that... Okay, I am going to say this unironically and seriously. You cannot compare 1939 to Poland now, because the borders of Poland were completely different then. The geography was different. So you cannot actually make a one-to-one comparison between 1939 Poland to the Poland of today, because they're quite literally different shaped countries. And geography matters in war quite a lot, actually. All right, Poland has the military capacity to withstand an enemy invasion for up to 2 weeks before Allied forces arrive, the head of the National Security Bureau has said, which, I don't know, this sort of logic always brings chills to my spine, okay? Because that was basically, speaking of 1939, That was the logic behind the whole military policy, military tactic, etc. in Poland when the invasion started. We're gonna hold out till our allies arrive. Problem being that the allies never arrived. And I'm skeptical whether or not the allied forces would arrive now, actually. I tend to not be super optimistic on allied forces arriving to bail Poland's ass when the time comes. I tend to think, oh yeah, Poland's definitely going to be just abandoned like last time. Poland is situated on NATO's eastern front, bordering Belarus and the Russian exclave of Kaliningrad. And Russia is seen as a dire threat to NATO members in Eastern Europe. Also, there has been, oh god, there's so much news. I think I've wasted too much time playing video games and I should have done some more news because there's actually quite a lot of news to cover and I should cover some news. I think, maybe. It could be a good idea. Oh well. It's too late now. It's too late to cry, it's too late to complain. If you're gonna complain about me being like this, then you better, be good. Does it make sense what I'm saying? What I'm trying to portray here? Don't worry, it's gonna all make sense at the end. Like in all good RPGs. Dariusz Łukowski told Polsat is like a news private broadcaster, that Poland is increasing arms production to build sufficient capacity to resist a Russian attack. I mean, 2 weeks is not resisting a Russian attack, okay? Russians are capable of fighting for more than 2 weeks, as we've seen. Just saying. However, the current reserves of military weaponry mean that depending on the type of fighting, the defense could be conducted for a week or two, he said, which means basically that Polish military is not as strong as everybody hypes it up to be. It's in pretty weak state right now, and without any assistance, Poland would just be rolled over. That's the harsh reality of what we are seeing here, okay? If it's like, come on, a week or two, that's nothing. Imagine if Ukraine only defended itself for a week or two. Wukowski was responding to opposition claims in the media that the country only has enough ammunition to fight for 5 days. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, 5 days, 7 days, 14 days. He said, like, come on. No, it's not 5 days, it's 7. I mean, I guess. Wukowski was responding, blah blah. He said this may be the case in some areas, as the Polish military uses a mixture of newer and more dated equipment. It depends what type of ammunition we're talking about, he said, arguing that while ammunition for old equipment is no longer in production, the situation regarding newer systems is much better. Well, thank God for that. Thank God we've got our newer systems on the way. Alright, we're gonna read about the defense production. We hope that over 2 or 3 years we gain through Ukraine's resistance, we will stimulate our defense production and rebuild our potential enough that we will be able to realistically oppose aggression by Russia for more than 2 weeks, I hope, okay? Resisting aggression, opposing aggression by Russia means lasting more than 2 weeks without waiting for reinforcements that may never come, okay? Just putting it out there. If you want to count on someone, count on yourself, is one of those sayings that I've heard being thrown around. Earlier on Wednesday, the head of NATO warned that military alliance would unleash a devastating reaction. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I believe that. Yeah, I believe it. I'm sorry, but I don't believe it, okay? I've grown bitter and skeptical and very Polish over the years. Military alliance would unleash a devastating reaction if any country were to attack Poland or its allies. Somehow, I think it's just words, okay? I don't even know what that devastating reaction is supposed to mean. Why can't NATO unleash a devastating reaction now that Ukraine's being attacked? What's the holdup? What's the holdup with the devastating reaction? Oh wait, no, it's because actually NATO is a bunch of pansy and cowards. Wow, I'm in a really rough mood. During a visit to Warsaw, the organization's Secretary General Mark Rutte said that Russia remains a dire threat and that boosting defense spending is essential. A devastating reaction. Oh man, empty words. Words are cheap. Words are so cheap. I cannot emphasize it enough. Actions speak louder than words. And all that it does for me to hear a statement such as "we will unleash a devastating reaction" is to make me laugh. Or at least giggle a little bit. That's my reaction. That's my opinion on that. Goodness. A devastating reaction. I almost want to hear that. I almost want to hear the head of NATO talking about the devastating reaction that it will unleash upon the enemies.